Ethan walked in, drenched and irritated. Lily didn't look at him like a problem. She looked at him like a person. "Rough morning?" she asked gently. The softness in her voice surprised him. No one talked to him like that anymore. Everyone either feared him, admired him, or wanted something from him. But this girl? She simply cared. Ethan nodded, his throat tight. "You could say that." Lily handed him a warm cup of coffee. "Here. On the house. Looks like you need it." He blinked. "Why?" She shrugged. "Because sometimes people need kindness more than caffeine." That simple sentence, that simple smile, it cracked open something inside him, something he didn't know was still there. For the first time in years, Ethan sat in a cafe not because of a meeting, not because of business, but because he felt calm. He watched Lily serve customers, laugh with a child, help an elderly man zip his jacket, and somehow keep everyone smiling. She didn't know he was a CEO. She didn't know he was important. And strangely, that made him feel human again. The next morning, he returned. No rain this time, only curiosity. Lily smiled again. "Back already?" Ethan smiled too, a real one. "Your coffee might be addictive." Days turned into weeks. He kept coming. Not for the coffee. For her. For her kindness. For her simplicity. For how she made him feel like he mattered not because of his money or power, but because of who he was. But love stories aren't beautiful without storms. One afternoon, news broke online: CEO Ethan Hayes seen at local cafe with mystery woman. Paparazzi arrived at Lily's cafe the next morning. Cameras flashed. Reporters shouted her name. Customers stopped coming in because they were scared of the chaos. Lily stood frozen, tears threatening to fall. "I didn't ask for this." Ethan's chest tightened with guilt. He had dragged her into his world, a world filled with attention she never wanted. That night, for the first time since they met, Lily didn't smile at him. "You live in a world I don't fit into," she whispered. "Your world hurts people like me." Ethan felt something he hadn't felt in years: fear of losing someone who meant something. He returned to his office that night and stared at the city from his glass window. Being the CEO of Hayes Tech meant he could fix problems, solve crises, handle anything, except the one thing he cared about most now. Lily. He realized love wasn't about protection through money or power. It was about standing beside someone, choosing them, fighting for the peace they brought you. The next morning, before dawn, Ethan walked to the cafe. No driver, no suit, no security. Just him. He cleaned tables. Restocked shelves. Carried boxes from the back. Every time Lily tried to tell him to stop, he only said one thing. "Let me fix what I broke." Not as a CEO, but as a man who cares about you. By the time customers began to arrive, the cafe looked peaceful again. Simple. Warm. Safe. Lily watched him mop the floor, completely out of breath but determined. A smile tugged at her lips, the same smile that had changed his life. "Ethan," she whispered, standing in front of him. "Why are you doing all this?" He took a deep breath. "Because your smile, your kindness, you made me remember what being alive feels like. I don't want my world to hurt you. I want my world to include you." Lily's eyes softened. "I'm not rich. I'm not from your world." "Then I'll come to yours," he said. "As many times as it takes." For the first time since the chaos, Lily smiled again, the simple smile that made a CEO fall in love. The journey wasn't easy. They faced judgment, gossip, and people who didn't understand how a billionaire could fall for a cafe girl. But they learned something more powerful than the world's opinions. Love doesn't happen between titles. It happens between hearts. Months later, on a quiet evening, Ethan and Lily sat outside the cafe. The sun was setting, painting the sky gold. Ethan reached for her hand. "Lily," he whispered, "I used to think success meant building an empire. But now I know the truth. Success is finding someone who makes you want to be better, someone who teaches you how to love again." She leaned her head on his shoulder. "And sometimes," she whispered, "all it takes is one simple smile."